Hi, I'm back, and I'm glad you are too. And today we're going to talk about suffering. And I don't know what your circumstances are. I don't know whether you suffer because of finances, or because of health issues, or because of relationships in your family, or real suffering where you are made fun of on your job or in the community for being a believer. So there's all different levels of suffering. Sometimes suffering is just waiting for your Amazon order to come. And we're told they come in 2 days if you have Prime, but it's taking longer and longer. And we play out that impatience we have, and we can see that we have it or not by how we can track our orders now. And that's how impatient we are. We are so impatient that they came up with a way to see when it's coming because we want things now. We can get it with the click of the mouse. It's so easy. So we're going to go and jump into James chapter 5, verses 7 through 11, and talk about suffering today and how patience works into that. All right, so I'm going to read it. Be patient, therefore, brothers and sisters, until the coming of the Lord. Till when? Till the coming of the Lord. So our patience is supposed to last a long time, maybe, or maybe it's short because maybe Jesus is coming back today. But that's how long our patience is to last. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the early and the late rains. We don't understand farming quite as well as they did during James's day and even 50 years ago when there were more farms around, small farms. Now we have the mega farms. So we can't relate to it as well. That's why I gave the example of ordering online and how quickly things come today and how impatient we are. We don't even want it to last that long. So, but when people farmed, the farmer would be patient. He knew that he planted the seeds in the spring and that it wouldn't come until late in the summer and that he needed the rain to happen in a certain way. We have corn, sweet corn that grows around some of the areas where we are, and not right where I am. It's wooded and too many rocks. But if we go to church, there's farms that have corn. And the saying goes, it's supposed to be knee high by the 4th of July. And they need like a certain amount of rain. Get the wrong amount of rain, and the wrong thing happens with the corn. And the crop doesn't turn out in late summer the way they wanted it to turn. So they understood how they needed the early and the late rains. Okay, you also be patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand. Again, we're reminded about the coming of the Lord, and we're told that it is at hand. We don't know when Jesus is coming back, but we are to live each day like he's going to come soon. So do not grumble against one another, brothers, so that you may not be judged. Behold, the judge is standing at the door. So Jesus is the judge standing at the door. We aren't to grumble because of our circumstances that are causing us to suffer. If you have health issues or whatever, we're not supposed to grumble. Doesn't mean we can't tell somebody about it, but not in a grumbling way. As an example of suffering and patience, brothers, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. Behold, we consider those blessed who remained steadfast. You have heard of the steadfastness of Job, and you have seen the purpose of the Lord, how the Lord is compassionate and merciful. So I want to encourage you to be patient. And because we want it now, we have something big we have to work with. We have to work on our impatience and that attitude that we have in our hearts that we want it now. And waiting is sometimes something that we're forced to do. And God often causes us to wait. He doesn't give us things right when we want. we don't give our children things right when they want. When they want that candy in the store, we rarely give it to them. And when they get demanding and they say, "Mommy, Mommy, I want this and I want it now," we often make them wait. I make my dog wait when she starts barking because she wants to eat and wants something now or wants that treat. She doesn't get it then because then I've taught her to whine and bark to get it. When we are impatient, we want that instant gratification, and God will usually make us wait. So waiting can be torturous, and we can hate it, but it improves and refines us. And it's kind of like um, we also don't have metal workers like we used to. But if you've ever gone to an historical place where you're seeing the iron worker bend the metal in the fire that he's torching on the thing, and you watch that hard metal bend. That's kind of how God is working on you and on me. And as it's heated, it shapes it and softens it into something that is beautiful. And God is softening you and bending you through your suffering into something that's beautiful for His glory, that you can be used in the lives of other people around you. He can use you through this. So today, James is teaching us to be patient and to wait patiently on the Lord. And if you go back to James 5, verse 6, um, it's encouraging us that the righteous person doesn't resist. So because you don't resist, you're not resisting against the refining that God's doing in that. So it says in Psalm 27:14 to wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and He shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. I love that verse. The righteous person doesn't resist. He is patient. And James tells the suffering person to be patient 4 times, not just once. And how long should you be patient? Until the coming of the Lord. And that's from verse 7. An example is the farmer. And how long should you be patient? For the rest of your life, until the coming of the Lord. Whether He comes because you die and He comes to get you, or because Jesus returns for the second coming and for the rapture. And so the practical advice, you wait until the late rain comes. So the rain waters you and encourages you and waters the crops. Well, you wait until the last rain, not the first rain. You wait. And when you're suffering, don't grumble. And that's because if you grumble, you'll be judged and you'll be corrected for it. And remain steadfast like Job. God is compassionate. He understands what you're going through, and He's merciful. So as you wait, you can learn to be patient, not to fret and not to grumble. And the waiting process is hard, but often the waiting process is made longer if we're carrying on with our grumbling. And just, I want to encourage you to keep your eyes on Jesus. Keep in His Word every day. Read the Bible. Spend time with Him, because that helps you through that waiting process and helps you learn not to be impatient. Because when you're fixing your eyes on Jesus, you kind of forget that you're waiting. I will reference a verse below, but Colossians 3:12 says to put on a heart of patience and choose to be patient. Choose to be still in the Lord. So I just want to remind you, where is your gaze fixed? Is it fixed on Jesus? Is it fixed on His return? Or is your eyes focused downward and entangled in the evils of your life, things that are entangling you? Is it focused on your suffering? Do you think of Jesus' return very, very little? Because we have a promise of a bright future. And in between our waiting time, If you are fretting and worrying and like pacing, that's going to make the waiting seem all the longer. If you are focusing on having a heart of patience and focusing on Jesus, focusing on learning to be still and patient in the presence of Jesus, and that will make the process seem so quick, even though it might take the rest of your life. And know and be still and be patient. Be still and know that the Lord, He is God and that He is coming again. Look up Psalm 46:10, where those thoughts come from. So I'm so glad that you joined me today, and I'll see you tomorrow.